It's a critical and historic day for Korea as the National Assembly will decide whether to impeach President Park Geun-hye over the massive corruption scandal that has shaken the nation at an unprecedented level. We're now just 1 hour away from the full assembly session where lawmakers will cast a secret ballot deciding the fate of the president and the country. Let's now go right over to the parliament where our Park Ji-won is standing by. Ji-won, how are the parties preparing for this huge moment?
Daeun, the opposition bloc is united on the matter, and as you can see behind me, the parties are holding their final rallies and demonstrations here at the Assembly Hall to show their determination for it to go through. Main opposition Democratic Party of Korea Chair Choo Mi-ae said again this morning, impeachment is the only way to put an end to the current crisis caused by the president, who Choo said violated the Constitution. People's Party floor leader Park Ji-won also said the impeachment vote could put an end to the public's anger and anxiety, which has been bubbling in the weeks since the scandal broke out. The two opposition parties have also said that all of their lawmakers will resign immediately if the impeachment motion fails. This action shows how desperate the opposition is for the motion to pass. According to the latest Gallup poll released Friday, over 80% of the public supports impeachment, so the opposition bloc is aiming to win the public's approval and get the motion passed.
And Ji-won, we know that the impeachment motion must gain 2/3 of the assembly seats or the approval of at least 200 lawmakers. Now that means at least 28 votes are needed from the Saenuri lawmakers, given all opposition and independent lawmakers vote in favor of the impeachment. How confident are the opposition that the motion will pass?
Well, Daeun, the general outlook here is that the opposition has secured at least the 200 votes needed for the motion to pass. But since the votes will be cast by secret ballot, we won't be able to know the result until all the votes are counted. The faction of the Saenuri party that doesn't support President Park held its own meeting this morning, and more than 30 lawmakers from the group are almost sure to cast yes votes today. People's Party floor leader Park Ji-won, who has been communicating with the non-pro-Park faction, also showed a bit of confidence this morning that the impeachment motion would pass. And if it does, President Park Geun-hye's power will be suspended immediately, and Prime Minister Hwang Kyo-ahn will be appointed acting president. In addition, the Assembly's Judiciary Committee chair will formally notify the Constitutional Court of the result, and the court will have up to 180 days to uphold or overturn the motion. If 6 or more of the court's 9 justices rule in favor of it, President Park will be formally expelled from her post, and a new presidential election will be held within 60 days. But if they overturn the motion, then President Park Geun-hye would regain all of her power as president. But all we can do now is just wait and watch the vote, which is scheduled to take place at 3 here at the Assembly. And I will have more after the vote. Back to you, Daeun.